Hey guys, I'm back. Super excited about the soap I'm about to make. As you can see over here, I've got this little grid, and what I have, I sculpted these last night. They're little soap dough, soap clay succulents. Super duper excited about putting those on the soap. I've been trying to do this soap for, God, months now, months and months. I tried some of my own soap dough recipes. Didn't really work. Had some issues, so I ended up doing the sorcery soap dough recipe, and it's freaking amazing. I love it. I never like using other people's recipes. I really strive to do my own stuff. But I wanted to give that a shot, and it really is incredible. And you have to give credit where credit is due. Bee's amazing. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's the master of soap molding. So kudos to her for teaching me that recipe there. In the soap itself that I'm going to be doing, the fragrance is called Sea Salt and Cactus, or Cactus and Sea Salt, I think. And I actually have it blended into my oils already, as well as my mango butter super fatting, because the company I got my fragrance from did not have any reviews on how it performs in cold process. So I Googled it. Some companies said, hey, this works great, no acceleration. Other people said, hey, this seizes. So I don't know what it's going to do. I don't want it to seize. If it does, if it really gets to be that bad, I'm just going to slap it in the mold without any color and do my succulents on top like I had planned. But I am actually trying to do the traveling funnel pour technique for the soap challenge with this. So let's hope that that works. I'm going to go ahead. I have my aloe juice in my lye right here, all dissolved. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that. Just barely I'm going to blend it. And if I feel like it's going to thicken up too much, we're just going to slap it in the mold. But yeah, let's find out what happens. Barely blended this. As you can see, it is emulsified, but it's at thin trace. When Tatiana does it, she stirs it, and it takes forever. I don't have the patience or the time for that. So I just figure if I barely stick blend, it's going to be okay. I am using extra virgin olive oil, which moves super slowly, and I did do a slight water discount, but nowhere near what I normally do, because I didn't want it to thicken up. I'm going to go ahead and divvy this out. I'm going to be doing, for my main color, a light green, and then for my sort of accent color, I'm calling it the ring color, I'm doing a copper. So I'm just going to kind of divvy them up. I didn't even put these into oil to disperse them because I didn't want to waste that if this set up too fast on me. So I didn't even go that far. I'm just going to hand stir it in, though. This is my copper mica. Pretty color. Might as well use all of it. Rarely do I buy a full jar of mica, but this is a color that I really enjoy, so I'll probably buy a whole one next time. And definitely this one that I got is a sample. Oh, this is great. This is so pretty. So let me dump that in my bigger one. I do have squirt bottles. Got them ready. Yeah, I'm excited this might actually work. I was not counting on this working. It's tricky too when you're reading a review on how a fragrance oil performs, because maybe they're using castor oil or palm oil or one of those ones that speeds up a lot, and pure olive oil really doesn't. You know what? I think I have time to actually stick blend this in a little bit because it's chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and blend again, just to get this mixed in. Just barely mix it in. Alright, so there we do it. There we go. We're all set there. Yeah, I guess I don't have to worry about this batter seizing up. I only had soap on a stick one time, and it really sucked, and I'm happy that's not happening again. This is ultra liquidy. I'm actually... Part of me is afraid it's too liquidy. Let me give it another quick blend. I just... You know what? I feel like we're good, so I'm safe to blend it a little bit more, and I want to blend it just a tiny bit more. We are very thin still, but I'm okay with it. If it bleeds a little, it bleeds a little. I think the star of the soap, even though it is a technique for the soap challenge, I think the star is going to be the top, because my little soapy succulents are just so cute. copper is gorgeous. I love this color. Definitely need more of that. Yep. To my right here in my gigantic kettle, I have, ooh, it's going to be 3 to 4 gallons of liquid glycerin Castile diluting. I'm really pumped about that too. Been feeling very creative and productive lately, which is always a good way to be. Ooh, this is starting to get chunky. Uh-oh, what the heck? It's still thin, but there is some chunkiness. What the heck? Alright, better get moving. Better get moving. I might be running out of time as of right now. That's not all of it, but that's all that's going to fit. Essentially for this traveling funnel technique, you're doing a small bloop of color and then with a longer pour of color in the same exact spot, kind of speckled like, and it makes a really interesting pattern. I first saw this on Instagram, Soap Techniques. Oh gosh, I forget her name. She's incredible, though I know she's friends with Tatiana in real life, which just, how cool is that? I'm going to keep these shaken so they stay fluid. But I saw her do it, and then Carmen at Earth Straw Beauty executed it beautifully, as she always does. And I've been meaning to try this for this exact soap. And then I found out it was for the soap challenge, and I'm like, how cool is that? I'm just going to wait. So here I am. Okay, so I just kind of do dot, dot, dot. This texture that this batter is at right now is perfect. So let's hope it doesn't solidify in my things. I'm going to do a count to 4 as I'm pouring my base color, this green here, because I want that to be larger and this copper to be kind of a dot within it. It's already solidifying on me, it really is. Maybe I shouldn't have done that extra blending. That's okay. Moving quickly now. I'm going to go ahead and shut up and fast forward through this part here. Alright guys, that's it. As you can see, it did get thick. I needed an actual funnel to get the last of the batter into my squeezy. And there's still a tiny bit in there, but it's thick enough where it's just so many air bubbles. But I, basically used it all and filled this mold pretty good. I think this looks so cool. I'm so excited about it. I almost don't even want to put the little succulents on top, but I'm totally gonna. I gotta flatten it out as best as I can here. Really smacking. Sorry about that. Oh, and we're beeping. That's my baby monitor. I'm going to shut that off just while I'm chit-chatting here. I'm not beeping at you. Yeah. One thing I have, too, that I'm pumped about, this is just some dead sea salt that I covered in some red satin clay, mica it's called, because that's meant to look like the gravel that I see in succulent gardens on the internet. We don't grow succulents in the wild out here in Pennsylvania. But I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that around, too. But yeah, whew, let me get a photo, actually. I'm going to get a photo of this before I put stuff on top. forgive me, everybody loves to look at wet soap, so I'm gonna show them some wet soap. Okay, done with that. And I have these sort of set out where I want to put them, and then I just have to kind of visualize where the lines are going. These are going to be kind of like cube soaps. I didn't want to use the slab mold that I have because I kind of wanted them to be square for some reason, and this should cut into squares. I want to push them in enough where they don't go jumping out. When I ship these two to customers eventually, I'm probably end up putting them in a box, like a 4x4 cardboard box, so they don't get destroyed in transit, because that's the stinking worst. I do those with the special brownie soaps too. Some of these succulents are bigger than others and some are smaller. I did that on purpose, but it's throwing me off on visually where I'm sticking them all. So forgive me, I just want to take my time. If they're not perfectly centered, oh well, but I don't want them to be like where I'm cutting or anything like that. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this. Things have been going my way in the soap kitchen lately, which, as you know, doesn't usually happen. Usually we have an idea and it's just totally gets screwed up, but this right here is exciting me. Even though it thickened up, it really did the tech, like it, I think it executed okay. It'll be really cool to see the sides. One thing I noticed with this challenge I didn't expect is that it's supposed to be in a slab mold. I thought, you know, you'd be able to cut them, you know, do it in a loaf and cut into bars, because I thought sort of the dissected cut was more what we were looking at. This is kind of the top, I think, what we're going for. So I might not even be able to enter this one because of wood stuff on the top. But either way, I'm excited about this. I have another soap for this challenge planned anyways, which I'm not going to do anything to the top. It's going to have something fun on the bottom, but that shouldn't affect it at all. Getting these guys really pushed in there. Oh my goodness, I'm so pumped right now. Yay. I did make a separate video of me making the succulents, so please check that out if you're curious how I sculpted these beauties. Okay. And now I want to also kind of avoid where I'm going to be cutting because I don't want drag marks, but I just want to kind of do a little sprinkle of salt. I'm getting a little willy-nilly with the sprinkling, so I guess I'm just going to sprinkle it. Sprinkle it however, because that's how it's going. Covering up my cool design, but all for the betterment of this other design that I'm doing. Now the salts that are landing inside of the succulent, I'll definitely get those out of there. Because blowing it isn't really doing anything. I don't want them, you know, to be in there, but I don't want to ruin it getting them out of there. Sprinkle in a little bit more, just use up what I got. Whew, I'm so excited. I guess when you've been trying to do a soap for like 6 whole months, you put enough thought into it where it's bound to go right, I guess. At least that's what happened this time. Okay. I want to clean up a little bit because I want to get a photo. So let me grab my little dusting brush. I'm going to brush them out of the way now. So they're not going to stick there, obviously. There's nothing wet for them to stick to, but I'd like to get a photo where they're not all buried in my salt gravel. do my best. This one's really varied. Just trying to be so concentrated in where I poured it. Yeah, most of the salt's gonna crumble off, you know, before I even cut it, and that's fine. Whatever sticks, sticks. Yep, that's about as good as it's gonna get right now. Buried my beautiful design, but it is in there, and we will see it when we cut it. And with my excellent planer from Alex Kelly's soap stand shop, I will be able to get the edges all perfect and beautiful as well. So check that out. Yeah, it's hard when I lift it up to the camera, the light doesn't hit it as good. But whatever, there it is. Look at that. It looks like a succulent garden, doesn't it? Kinda. I hope so. I just looked up. Holy crap! This is a 38-minute video so far. I'm going to be fast forwarding through all of my pouring. That was easily 20 minutes of this. So hopefully this isn't too long of a video. And if it is, I apologize. Fast forward through the boring parts if you want. I'm going to go ahead and cut into this tomorrow, which you guys can watch right now. I'll see you then. Well, hello everybody and welcome to the future. Here is my gorgeous Succulence slab. I just love how this turned out. I think it turned out great. Smells great. Firmed up nicely, and I think I'm really excited to see what's inside. I did realize I didn't super look at the rules of the soap challenge, and no embeds or embellishments, so I cannot enter this one, and that's okay because I kind of didn't think I was supposed to do that, and I was going to do this technique for the soap anyway, so it was kind of just like good practice, so I'm not fretting it. Busted out my old hoopty cutter and my cork and wire thing so I can get this cut into little mini loaves because my big cutter's not going to handle that and I don't want to take a knife to it. So I'm just going to go like this with it and slice down. And fingers crossed that it isn't a disaster. I think it'll be okay. Going sideways like this will help from the salt. I knocked off a lot of extra salt. I knew I was gonna. I planned on that. But I knocked off a lot of the extra salt, but going this way will keep it from pushing the salt into the soap as I cut. Just trying to make sure that this is lined up properly. I think kind of having it right at the end is about where I need, so lining it up from the top too. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. Just going quick with it. Turns out better if you go fast. Oh, I almost tipped over. Oh yeah, look at that, that's cool. Looks like snake skin or some kind of like animal pattern, I don't know. I like it though. More salt fell off when I did that, so let me kind of clear this off. I don't want any salt chunks messing up my pattern. It wasn't the most straight cut, but it wasn't the most crooked cut. So I'm just not gonna fret it. Just try not to fret the little shit these days. Okay. Yeah. The scent's holding up so far. I really enjoy this scent. Really enjoy this scent a lot. One of these days I've got to email Indigo Fragrance just with some photos of all the soap I make with their fragrances. Because I've been buying from them forever and I love them. I don't think many other soap makers know about them. Boom. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Now we're ready to do the other cuts, so let's go for it. Get this out of my way, swap cutters here. I completely took my little measuring guy off the end here because it wasn't going to give me enough space to cut how I wanted to, so I just got it out of there. Now as far as cutting goes, I'm just going to eyeball this. Is, you know, I just want them to be basically like cubes. cutting the end off here first. Pretty cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay it up on its side so I don't get too much salt dragging. I know I'm going to get some salt dragging, but I want it to be minimal. I really want it to be minimal. Is that right? Is that about a cube? Yeah, it is. Okay. Here we go. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and get that end too. Or do I want to plane it? I'll try to plane it. Put it off to the side for now. Alright. Boop. Pretty exciting. I like these a lot. And that last one, that's the corner one. And I cut this end off here. I want to have some samples. But this one seems a tiny bit smaller than the others maybe, so I'll probably end up planing that. Alrighty. I'm going to cut this end though, because this end is there's a little bit more overhang, and that does give me some samples. Yeah. Are we good there? A little more that way. Okay. Aha. These are so cute. Now, with this fragrance being called sea salt and cactus, or cactus and sea salt, I keep getting them mixed up. I don't know, forgive me because I don't live anywhere where cactuses grow, but do cactuses grow anywhere near where there is salt water? I feel like they don't, but maybe they do, and I just don't know because I've never been in that area of the world before. But it seems like where there are cacti, there is not the ocean. I don't know. Just a hunch of mine, possibly an ignorant hunch. I really do love how these turned out. It basically turned out exactly how I expected and wanted them to. So cute. And here's a corner. I'll plane that. With cubes like this, even though they're not like a full, completely symmetrical cube, they're not as tall as they are like wide. I don't know that I'm going to bevel them, because I like the corners to be like corners, and I don't want to mess with the top, and then why do the bottom? So I'm probably just going to leave them with sharp edges. Every now and then I prefer to do that. Alright, here's my middle slab. Oop, which is actually in the view of the camera there. Alright. Okay. I'll chop this end off too. Skinny little slices. Oh, that's pretty. That's extra pretty. Yeah. Yeah, these turned out great. I'm excited. Here's one that's got all of its edges all cleaned up too. I won't need to bevel this or plane this one probably. Yay! One more cut to go. Look how pretty that one is. That one's a really nicely shaped succulent. Not as much salt on top, but that's okay. The salt's all falling off anyways, which I knew it would. I just wanted a little bit there. Pretty. And then this guy, you know, I could afford to chop this bit right here. Big piece of salt out of my way. Yeah, where I can afford to take a little more off, I don't mind slicing the end instead of using the planer. But where I just need to basically even it out, that's when I use my planer. Ta-da! Some pretty edges. I like the edges. I like seeing the cross cut, but I do understand why it's like a viewing of the top as far as the challenge goes. I understand. I respect that. I'm gonna keep on working to get that down. But yeah, there you go. This is Succulence. Thank you for watching. Please check out the video in which I sculpted the succulents if you're curious about that. I did do that as a separate video because it's super duper long. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment if you have anything to say about it. That'd be cool. All right, thanks guys. Bye-bye.